Yo, check it out. Check it out. Alright. So I set up all the enemy placements for level 7 Act 2. It's pretty fun to play through, but I didn't get around to setting up the kickable objects and the obstacles within the rooms because after setting up just the basic enemy placements and playing through it, I found that it was insanely difficult. Mainly because of a few frustrating things and a couple of unexpected interactions between the dashing enemy and the gun dudes. So, one of them was I discovered that when you deflect a bullet that was fired at you from one of these guys, if it happens to fly back into one of these dashing guys as he's dashing, he will then deflect it back at you. Then on top of that, sometimes when you deflect a bullet back at, let's say, this gunman here, because these gun guys also dash on an interval, it can often happen that they'll dash out of the way of the bullet you deflected back at them. So both of these two things combined, on top of the fact that these guys are already pretty hard and complicated to fight, makes for insanely difficult fights that can get really messy and complicated. So to simplify things, I made it so that your bullets, when you deflect them, will automatically own in on the target. So even if he dashes away, it maybe looks a little silly, but you'll literally see the bullet warp and hit him anyway. And I just made it so these dudes do not deflect bullets anymore because that was a little overpowered. Also because actually the idea I have for the boss fight in this act is going to revolve around essentially like almost like a tennis-like match where you have to deflect the bullet back and forth with the boss and it just keeps getting faster and faster. So I wanted to save that for that anyway. Finally, the last thing that I found frustrating to deal with is, oftentimes it can be a little tricky for me to tell how it feels to players for the first time playing through a level when you don't know the configurations of the enemies and you got to play it a few times to see things. Now, I don't think that's normally too big of a problem. I think I've designed the game on purpose so that you always have a chance to survive in a room as long as you're skilled enough. However, one thing that makes that almost impossible here is because of these dudes shooting at you from a distance, and oftentimes they're far enough away that even with the new, more zoomed out camera, you just are not able to predict their bullets coming at you. Like, it's basically just like getting shot at from off screen. And even though I know where all the enemies are, I found it frustrating popping into a room and not being able to predict when I'm going to get shot at. So to fix that, as much as I wanted to avoid telegraphing things in my game, I preferred for it to feel more raw and dynamic and like you really have to be paying attention to the timing of things. This is one case, I think, where telegraphing is necessary since they're attacking you from off screen. And, that's just unfair and also unrealistic. So, I added a very simple solution for that. It draws a line to warn you just before they're about to take a shot at you. And when you see the line disappear, that means the bullet is coming your way. You can see right there that red line that appears. Let me show you a playthrough of the level. Oh, that was sick. So you see what I mean with them being off screen. Like before, this was really ridiculous to see. I'm probably gonna update it later on to be a little more sophisticated. Like maybe it'll glow slowly just as it's about to shoot so that you know exactly the timing rather than just disappearing. Because one thing that's a little confusing here is you can see he's actually there, but he's not firing because they do have a range, like a limited range on how far they'll fire from. So if I step in, you'll... Oh, fuck. Well, it looks like that's also a bug because it should have shown the line there. So I have to take a look at that. But anyway, I'll want to distinguish between when they go out of range and when they're actually firing off the shot at you. So I think some kind of glow effect right when it actually fires, or a flash or something like that, would be ideal. Oh shit. But yeah, you can see it makes it a lot easier to deal with compared to if you were going in totally blind. Also makes it easier to dodge the bullets in general. Well, what did I miss? Oh. As you can see, the new zoom levels also make it much easier to take a quick glance at the level. The configuration for this level also is a little, I haven't set this up properly yet, but it's somewhat more complicated than most levels. You kind of really have to think through what your pattern's going to be to clear it all in one go. So yeah, that was pretty much it. There was one other thing. Oh yeah, the one last issue I was dealing with is with these guys dashing at you and you trying to time it and the bullets flying at you at the same time. It occasionally happened that you would finish one of these dashing guys off, and like just as you land on a dash, and just as that's happening, there's 2 bullets flying your way. So you kill this guy, land on a dash, and then the bullet just instantly kills you. I thought that was kind of frustrating and a little unfair as well. I mean, it's not technically not unfair, but it's extraordinarily difficult to deal with. So I had this solution for something like this before with like the arrow enemies, where when you dodge, because you can dodge through bullets and arrows by using your dodge instead of your regular dash attack, and I add a little bit of like a free invincibility period right after you land the dodge, so you don't have to land it perfectly. As long as it's within like 1/10 of a second after you land, it'll also still go through you and count as a dodge. So I just use that same technique here as well, where after you finish landing a dash, you also get an extra like I think it's 0.15 seconds of invincibility. So if there's a bullet that's like gonna hit you right at the moment when you land, it'll just go fly through you instead. That seemed like the best solution that felt fair and without messing with any of the other mechanics, because I tried some other solutions, but it all kind of messed with how the gameplay is supposed to work. So yeah, figured it all out. I'm pretty happy with where it's at now. Still pretty damn challenging. Still gonna have to go through the whole game and make sure things are balanced properly. I think maybe like the dashing enemies need a more generous interval for how quickly they dash at you. It's still pretty damn hard, but cleaning up all those little interactions seems to have helped enormously with at least making it feel very fair, even if it's still really intense and challenging. So yeah, so tomorrow I think all I gotta do is, I don't know, there's probably 1 or 2 small bugs there, like you saw with the red lines, I should clean up. But otherwise I just gotta set up some kickable objects in there. I think that's one way to help, I think is gonna really help with making this level more balanced, is to give the player a lot of options for kicking objects at these guys to disable some of them. And yeah, I'll throw in a few obstacles here and there. I'll probably keep those to a minimum though, because I like the combat with these guys. It's nice just having free open space and deflecting the bullets back and going back and forth with the dashing guys, so I don't want to put too many obstructions in here. And that's it for today. So, did not get to finish quite as far as I had hoped. I was hoping to get started on the next level already, but I ran into these unexpected issues, but that's alright. I should have it done tomorrow for sure, and then hopefully have at least the layout for the final level for Act 2 set up. Looking forward to that. And also, I should probably get Amanda to start. I'm going to message her maybe tomorrow to send her the map for the first level to get started on making the actual rooms for that, and maybe props and stuff like that. If we could, actually, I don't even know if we have enough time now. I should have done this earlier. Just because we've got a trailer that I've got to get ready for November 10th, and would have been nice to have a new trailer where I can show off like a preview of the second act as well as a sneak preview, but whatever. I can at least show off the first boss fight. Maybe I'll just use that for the trailer instead. That's it for tonight. Later.